it's going to do something positive for the world and for other people.
Yeah, and like I said, I've talked with too many people now on this show. This is the 51st episode, and the energy that just comes through, the satisfaction in everything people like you say, you'll never convince me that you had a really bad time. You know, there are days where you may have been close to kicking the dog or a door had been slammed, but it didn't stick. When you know your why and when you're connected to the right thing for you. Not everybody has to do what you're doing, but when you find when you're connected, and that's what this show is about. It's not just the SheIS movement, but I just found that this is an example of it's amazing what you're willing to do without feeling like you're giving up something. And I think that is exactly what sports, that opportunity of aspiring to those things that, you know, and boys deserve the same thing. I know far too many guys, and I was one of them a little while back when I kind of lost my way over why I thought I was going to work and working, you know, I was suffering, and said, no, that's not how I was raised to work hard, not to suffer. And you find your way back, and sports has always been part of it, and that's what women deserve as much as men, is that vehicle to finding your way to something good, whether it's spectator, player, coach, administrator, whatever it may be.
Yeah, Dave, I'll just add in when you say suffering. I think that, you know, as an athlete, when I trained, I didn't get to eat fries for a year. That was suffering. You know, and I think I think when we talk about suffering, I think the key is that a lot of times when people hear, you know, myself and Katie and other main athletes and wonderful leaders speak, they think that, oh my God, you know, I could do what they do too, because look, they're successful or it had it easy. And I think what Katie and I are both trying to say is that, you know, there is obstacles and there is pitfalls, and each one of those pitfalls and obstacles is a learning experience. So you're right. You know, it's like when we look back, I wouldn't do anything else in my life differently than what I've done, because if I had, I wouldn't be where I am, or I wouldn't have learned what I was supposed to learn. But those obstacles or those key peaks that, you know, you had to overcome creates who I am today. And so I think a lot of times, you know, so many people say to me, well, Brenda, of course I could do it if I was like you. Look, you know, you're happy, you know, you're passionate. I'm going, hey, like my life wasn't always easy here, guys. And so I think that was the message we want to get across, is that we found something that is in sync. And SheIS is the first time that any time in the sports world where all our commissioners gathered together to make the same statement and to say that within our silos, we're going to be successful, but we're going to step outside those silos, and we are going to create something, a coalition that is going to help us all grow. And that's never been done before. So, you know, we were successful right away. And I think when I say we're successful right away, our next step is, yeah, okay, tick that box in success. And I don't think that Katie or I thought it would go as fast or as quick or as successful as it was. It was like, I always tell people, you know, I felt like Piglet with the little guy, you know, in Winnie the Pooh trying to hold down the balloon as it was taking off, because it was just so massively accepted by the world in so many ways. But now comes the hard work and you know, getting moving forward and creating all these wonderful things that is obtainable. I think if somebody's listening to it, I think that was essential for us to say it's not easy peasy. Those athletes that are star athletes, man, they train, you know, they give up going to a movie and they go work out. They give up going out to something and they go running. And they give up the night out of, you know, food and drinking and, you know, wonderful wine with friends at times, because they've gone to train. And so the success of Olympic medals, the success of lifting a cup, the success of winning the WNBA or finishing the LPGA as the winner, those are all not sacrifices that they choose to give up, but they choose the path to make them successful. And I know, Katie, when I started a little while ago, you know, I always used to say, it's not about who's going to let us be successful. It's about who's going to try to stop us from being successful.
And I think what you said, the choice is, what's most important to recognize here, and all these things we do, and that's what you're giving, again, a whole nother, this current generation, those that follow, more and more choices will be coming from this. So, unfortunately, as always, this hour has flown by. We've gone long, and I was not going to stop this just because the clock said so, because I've really enjoyed talking with you two so much. But again, tell us, again, best way in all the social media, all the places, how can people find out more about SheIS? What are the places? We've got the website at SheIS Sport. What about Twitter, Facebook? What are the other locations they can find you?
So you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Team SheIS, and then on Facebook by just searching for SheIS Sports, and it should come up on there.
Excellent. Well, Brenda, Andress, Katie, Donovan, thank you so much for being here tonight, and I definitely look forward to talking to you again on some of the other podcast shows we'll be doing, one which will be shorter specifically to women's issues in sports, because this is just the beginning of the conversation. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
And everyone else, thank you again for joining us here tonight. This is Dave Brigley with Making the Play, and have a great evening.
Well, I started out down a dirty road. Started out all alone. I'm learning to fly, but I ain't got wings. Coming down is the hardest thing. So I've started out for God knows where. I guess I'll know when I get there.